All right, so here's how I did my demo. I'm going to open up Keynote, and we're going to just do this so that it fits inside of the screen. And spread that out. All right, there we go. So we're going to do this as a new document. And I'm going to do just a plain background and hit create. Oops. Shrink that down within my recorded window. So I'm doing a screen recording out of QuickTime. And in doing that, I've made a window that I'm going to record just so I can see what you're able to see. So in order to do the transition, you start with a single slide, and that's all you're going to have. So I'm going to delete all these things out because I don't need them. You're going to pay attention to these things right here: format, animate, and document. And then that's what we're going to use to manipulate this. And then here we can import media, shapes, text, whatever we want to do to build this one slide. I'm going to grab, because I want to do something different, I'm going to grab a picture, and we're going to pull that picture. Let's see. So that it's centered. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do it like this. So now we've got it in here. We're going to lose part of the picture, and that's okay because we don't really care. We're just really focused on the one slide. So when we export it, it'll be the video. So that's going to be the background, and we're not going to do anything to it. Now we're going to add some text. I'm going to move my text up there so I can see it, and we're going to call this the Salty Wanderer Fishing Experience, just for shits and grins. I'm going to highlight the whole thing, and then we're going to format the text to follow suit with the same as what we had before. I want it pretty big, so I'm going to change it to 150. Change it to 100. Oops. And then we'll start moving it around. Oops. There we go. And you can see the snap to grid line as it comes in. So the other thing I want to do to this is I want to add a style to it. We're going to add an outline. We're going to make the outline black. And then outline. We're going to change this line. There we go. That looks pretty fucking sweet. Now let's pick a color that we like. I don't like that color. I want to keep it black. Text background. Nope, we definitely don't want to do that. Shit. Layout. So now is where we hit the Command Z and we undo whatever the hell we just did. So no fill. I want the text color to be yellow or blue. Definitely not blue. We're going to change our spacing also. Let's pull that down a little bit. because I want to get the experience out of the trees there. So we're just going to slide that up. And I'm going to grab the box here. There we go. And it doesn't need to be bold. That's good, that's good. Layout, tabs, borders, rules, style, fill, border, style. So we'll just leave that alone right now. So what we want to do is we want to have that come in on an animation. So we're going to do a build-in effect. So that's where it comes in. So the first thing we're going to do is, you can look at some of these different ones. Like there's a fireworks one. If I hit preview, it shows up a flame, a lens flare, shimmer. That looks gay. And skid. So you can pick the one that you like the best. I like this trace one. So that's what I'm going to use. And then for the sake of conversation, we're going to add one other piece of media to this. And I think I just want to grab somewhere in here is a picture of a chicken. Let's see here. Here's a good one. We'll just use that one. So we're going to shrink that up. I'm going to drop it right here in the middle. Now, I would edit this photo and make it kind of a, a fancy style. But in this case, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add a border to it, a picture frame, and we'll use something kind of rustic like that. We're going to make the border I want it very bold. There we go. And then I also want to give it a shadow. There we go. That way the picture stands out. And if you want, you can give it a reflection, however you want to do that. This is good for me, and I'm going to leave that alone. So what I want to do now is kind of center the picture. And then last thing we're going to do is I'm going to add some text. I'm going to add my name. We're going to move the text down here towards the bottom. We're going to shrink that to 80. We're going to make the text color yellow, and we're going to change the font to, nope, something that looks very much like a script. And then we're going to give this a fly in. So if we come up here to animate, I like this keyboard one when I'm typing my name. And then we're going to move this up. That way it's centered between, and you can tell by the little icons that pop up here that it's centered. I think what I want to do is move that over there, spread that out. We're going to make that a little bit larger. From a text perspective, take that up to 100. There we go. And then I'm going to give it a border. Nope, don't want to do that. Command Z. That'll work. No shadow border. We're going to give it a fill. And I'm going to pull back some of the opacity there. Or maybe not. That'll work. And so let's give this all a fly in here. Text, animate, keyboard. Okay, so I've got everything in here. I've got to add a build-in effect for this one. And we're going to do that just as an iris. And we start with our build order. Oh, we need to add a build out. So we're going to say build out, add an effect. If you want it to have an out. So we're just going to say that's going to have that out. That's going to have that out. And that's going to have that same out. So what we can do is do build order. Now we have everything there. So this is the in. So that's going to come in first. And then we want the picture to fly in. So there we go. So we want this to happen automatically. So it's going to come in after build 1 second. And so if I preview this, build 1 second, picture comes in. And then after that, we want to go 1 second here. Preview, 1 second, 1 second. There we go. And then we want everything to fly out at the same time. So we're going to drop that in there, and we're going to drop that in there. So this is build out 4. It's going to happen after build out 3. And we want to give it, say, 5 seconds. And then we want this, the Salty Wanderer, we want it to vanish with build 4. And then the only other thing is we need to add an out effect for the name. We're going to call it vanish. And this is going to come out with build 4 also. So if we preview this, it should fly in. Yep, 1 second picture, 1 second keyboard name. And then 5 seconds, flash bulbs on the picture, and then everything vanishes. So the only other thing is I want to speed up this transition here with the typing. I want to speed it up. So I want it to take 1.5 seconds to type. Everything else looked good. So to save this, in Keynote, you go File, and you can't see this, Export to Movie. and it's a self-playing movie. All of your transitions are connected. I changed the resolution. We're going to go next. It's going to ask me where I want to put it. We're just going to put it on the desktop. We're going to call it Fishing Test. And we're going to export it. It's going to create the movie. The movie has been created. I'm going to close this out. We're going to save this as test fishing. Save. Now, here is the movie that we're going to get. Let me shrink it so you can see it. So when I hit play, and then 5 seconds, and then everything disappears. There you go. And if I wanted to, I could even make the background disappear. Let's see if I do that. Here you can see just the movie without the... And then if you're making a clip in iMovie, I'm going to shrink this down so that it's inside of our little recorded viewing screen here. So I go create new movie, import media, and this is on my desktop. And it is test 2. No, it is fishing test right there. Import selected. And then I can drag it to right there. Now the whole intro takes 20 seconds, but then if I have another clip, my media, I can add more to that, or I can add a title and a transition, whatever I want. And then I think I locked it up. Maybe not. But anyway, and then you just add your other stuff to this and start making everything work.